The city of Manchester earned the nickname Cottonopolis due to the role the cotton industry played in the wealth that built the city. However, the industry was not limited to Manchester but most of the city region. Towns in Greater Manchester such as Ashton-under-Lyne, Bolton, Bury, Lee, Oldham, and Rochdale were all dependent on the cotton industry. In Chatterton, a town in the borough of Oldham, 9 former cotton mills remain standing to this day. Therefore, the county of Greater Manchester could perhaps be renamed Provincia Cottonalis. With cotton and Atlantic slavery being intertwined, it was inevitable that when slavery was abolished, it affected those in the region that owned slaves. The 1837 Slave Compensation Act authorized the compensation paid, not to those who had been enslaved, but to slave owners in the British colonies. Greater Manchester had its fair share of beneficiaries. The following information has been taken from the database of the Centre for the Study of the Legacies of British Slavery at University College London. Secondary research is from the websites thepeerage.com and 100 Halls Around Manchester. Please see the links in the description. These findings will outline who was awarded compensation, where they were based in Greater Manchester, the plantations they were compensated for, how much the compensation was in 1837, and how much that would equate to in 2025. In total, the slavers received £58,455. In 2025, this would be around £8,360,000. Their awards ranged from £170, the equivalent of around £24,000, to £19,447, the equivalent of just under £2.8 million. At the lower end of the compensation claims were those who claimed under £1,000. J.W. Warren of 51 Windmill Street in Manchester city centre, and Richard Straker Wickham of 211 Bolton Road in Elton, Bury, both claimed under £200, about £25,000 in 2025. Still a significant sum, but not compared to others from the region at that time. Samuel Bailey and John Diggles Bailey were the sons of Thomas Bailey, a cotton merchant who owned Booth Hall, Manchester. Samuel was a Manchester merchant and a member of the London Stock Exchange. John Diggles was a captain in the British Army. Together they claimed £810, around £116,000 in 2025. Booth Hall was demolished in 1907 and Prestwich Poor Law Union built a hospital there. It became Booth Hall Children's Hospital in 1926. The Children's Hospital closed in June 2009. It was demolished to make way for housing. An information board with the history of Booth Hall remains, as does Bailey's would. In the medium range of compensation claims were those who claimed between £4,000 and £5,000. Eleanora Atherton was the daughter of Henry Atherton, a barrister, Annan Byram, the daughter of Edward Byram of Manchester. Eleanora divided her time between the Byram family home at 23 Key Street, Manchester, and their country retreat at Kersal, Salford. She also owned property in London, Cheshire, Lancashire, and Jamaica. She was compensated £4,257, around £609,000 in 2025, for 726 enslaved people in Jamaica, 182 at Spring Vale Pen Plantation in St. James Parish, and 544 at Green Park Plantation in Trelawney Parish. Eleanora funded the building of the Holy Trinity Church in Hume for £18,000 in 1841 and St. Paul's Church, Kersal, Salford, where she is buried. She supported the Cheetham Society in Manchester and was a well-known philanthropist. Her will in 1870 was valued at around £400,000. George Hyde Clark is buried at St. Lawrence's Church, Denton, in the borough of Tameside. There is a memorial to him in the church grounds. He is also the ancestor of Lord Sebastian Coe, the former athlete and politician, and the current president of World Athletics. There are also reminders of the family in Tameside. Captain Clark's Road in Hyde, and Captain Clark's Bridge over the Peak Forest Canal in Hyde, and Clark's Bridge over the River Tame, the natural border between Denton and Hyde, and historically, Lancashire and Cheshire. There are also reminders near to where the family had plantations in Jamaica, Hyde Hall and Clarkstown. George Hyde Clark's son, George Hyde, received £4,753, just over £680,000 in today's money. This was for 241 people enslaved at the Swanswick Estate Plantation in Trelawney Parish, Jamaica. This is the end of part 1 of the Slavers Compensated in Greater Manchester. Stay tuned for part 2 and please like, share and subscribe.